In this video, I'm going to tell you about the 5 phases every man must go through to reach greatness. The reason that the order is important is because it marks the phases that you must go through step by step. Each step, each phase has its unique characteristics and features that you must conquer. Before you can go to the next level, you must first conquer the level that you're at. Skipping any of these steps will just land you in confusion. If you want to make real progress, you should follow these step by step and make sure that you've conquered each level. The first phase is the awakening phase. This is the phase when you realize that your current life isn't good enough. Maybe it's your 9-to-5 job, maybe it's your social circle, maybe it's your family. But you realize that the life you're living right now is not the full story. From the outside looking in, your life may look normal, just like the lives of everyone else. But you know deep down inside you that something's missing. Most guys just follow the script. They have a job, maybe they find a partner one day, they settle down, they have kids. But if you're watching this video, there's something inside you that tells you there's more. The script that you've been given, that's not the full story. This is something no one talks about. They don't teach this in school. If you look around, if you think about it, most people are asleep. So the fact that you're feeling these things, the fact that you're having these thoughts, the fact that you feel different from everyone, that's a good thing. You're starting to awaken. And when you start awakening, you're gonna realize that most people are just comfortable where they are. Something that I'd recommend to you to understand this phase better is Plato's allegory of the cave. You can research it deeper if you want, but the main idea is that there are a number of prisoners locked in a cave. They're facing forward and all they can see is the shadows on the wall. These shadows are being projected from behind them and they think that these shadows are reality. Little do they know they're locked inside a cave since birth. But then, one prisoner happens to break free from his chains. He turns around, he sees the fire, and he sees the exit to the cave. He gradually makes his way out of the cave and realizes that there's a whole world out there. There's nature, animals, the sun. That's the awakening phase. You've been fed lies and misinformation, but now you can see that this is not the full story. The second phase is the loneliness phase. In this phase, you realize that all the people around you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, they're not on the same level as you. It's become useless to talk to them. You start to notice that the ones who are awake are very few. This phase is one of the most difficult phases. You have to face it alone. You don't have a circle yet. You don't have a group of like-minded individuals who can elevate you. And that's normal because you've been living your entire life surrounded by people that can't understand this. The biggest mistake you can make in this phase is to become depressed and sad. You have to trust yourself and slowly begin finding the people on the same level as you. This is a dark, difficult time, but if you can make it through, things are gonna get better. The few people who ever awaken, they get stuck at this stage. The reason is that the darkness is too difficult to deal with. The loneliness, it's too sad and depressing. They start to doubt themselves and they go back to their safe cage, their 9-to-5, their old relationship, their old friends. It's just easier that way because the road to the next phase is not for everyone. The third phase is the ghost phase. Unlike the previous 2 phases, in this phase, you start to trust yourself. You actually start to enjoy the process. Now you know what has to be done. You willingly embrace the loneliness and solitude. You've cut off all the past distractions and people of low energy. You're locked in on your mission and you can't be distracted. All that you left behind is not affecting you anymore. If you've ever heard the quote, "burn the ships," that's what you've done. You've burned the ships. All you do now is march forward willingly. You've accepted that this is difficult and the journey is long. The doubt of other people, all the things that used to bother you in the past, you laugh at that. In this phase, you start to build the systems that will work for you. In this phase, you know what actually matters. Now you start working towards it. Maybe you know that you need more money. Maybe you need to work on your physique. Maybe you need to work on your social skills. In this phase, you start to fix the things that you're lacking. Whatever it is, you're slowly working towards it, day by day. You're actively taking the steps to the next phase. The fourth phase is the war phase. This is the phase when you come out of the shadows. You come back with something to prove. All that you've been through, all that you've learned in the darkness, now turn into your weapons. The new version of yourself is complete. Now you come back into the world, you take risks, you compete, and you prove your greatness. All the things that used to hold you down, the self-doubt, the fear, the voices in the back of your head, these don't bother you anymore. You're too strong and determined. What the people say, that doesn't distract you anymore. You know that you're right, you know what you've been through, and now it's time to show it to the world. No one knows you better than yourself. You've already been through hard times. You've already been through the darkness. Now you have a chip on your shoulder. You're ready to establish something. Now you're ready to start a business, make a new career, forge your own path, stamp your name in the history books. Each man's story is different, but each of us strives for greatness. You've already done everything to become competent. Now you've earned your seat at the big table, and you will fight for it. They tried to destroy you, but little did they know, they made you stronger. Now you're unstoppable. You're now in full control of your emotions, and if someone tests you, you're ready for the challenge. And let me be clear, this is not about ego or a superficial show. Now, your desires come from within. All that's going on in your heart and mind, you know the value of it, and you know how to communicate it to others. You're not afraid of rejection or doubt. You're sure of your mission. Now you believe in yourself, and you can see that anything is possible. Your skill set is complete, and you're ready to use it to establish your foundation. Now you know what works, and you just have to repeat it again and again in front of the world. And only through years of consistency is how you get to the next phase. The fifth phase is the legacy phase. Very few ever make it to this phase. You've consistently performed in front of the world. The loneliness and all the challenges that you went through, those are just distant memories at this point. There are no shortcuts to this phase. You only get here through years and years of repetition. Only the greatest men of history ever reach this phase. This is the phase that puts your name in the history books. You no longer care about money. You already have that. You no longer care about fame and status. You're beyond that. It's no longer about you. It's about what you'll leave behind. All of your good and bad decisions that brought you to this point, those are your foundation. Now you're only putting your effort into helping others and spreading your mission. In this stage, you'll keep building systems and gathering manpower to spread your message. Your message will far outlive you, and it will impact millions. You've realized that becoming a better man isn't about getting more for yourself. It's about giving more to others. In this stage, you actually want to awaken others. You can see yourself in younger generations. You can see yourself in the lost people, and now you want to bring them the help that you never had. You can spend several years working on yourself, several years building a business, but a legacy requires a lifetime. I've noticed that there's a trend happening. The old alpha stuff is going out the window, and more refined, more honest, and more spiritual content is starting to surface. So if this stuff resonates with you, let's spread it so that others can realize they're not alone. I'll be glad if you leave your story in the comments so that others can benefit as well.